where our players are going to go, and I think it'll be interesting to see where they pop out of too, when they pop out of the sanctuary, and how we get to see the difference. All right, let's
definitely divergence straight away, and we'll see where Sanctuary leads.
Well,
that's a pretty neat way to get to Kakariko.
Absolutely. And so this is kind of the fun here is you go in a door, especially at the start here, you go in a door and you don't know where it goes. Like the Christoph Owen hut leads us to Checkerboard Cave.
Yep, getting 20 rupees early on, not too bad. If they just need 10 more rupees in case they find a shop right now to get some bombs. So speaking of shops, the shops today is going to be, well,
Minimal Cave.
Well, not going to go very well without any weapons. I'm going to have to back out for that one. Backup Tavern is always vanilla, because there's only one entrance that has a back door like that, so that's the one you can always count for, and Link's house is always going to be vanilla as well.
Yes. And Sick Kid, we've replaced Sick Kid with Spike Cave. Let's see if they can tell the difference.
Yeah, no wonder he's sick if he's living in a house with floor like that.
I would have laughed if somehow you can make Sick Kid be at the end of Spike Cave, so you have to do Spike Cave and then Sick Kid's just there.
I would be pretty cool.
I live in a terrible place.
Furimi doing the early hula hand here. A great way to get some money for the bottle vendor, to get some bombs as well if you find a shop.
Yeah, that's a pretty good start there. I always want to make sure that you have a little bit of pocket change on you just to deal with some of the early game hazards, I guess you could say. And okay, so Desert Palace is Kink's Tomb is in the library. He's got the bug net for Ack. Fryme, meanwhile, goes down to the fortune teller's hut by Lake Hylia and finds Desert Palace. He's gonna get Kinaberna out of first chest there in Desert Palace.
Yeah, it's probably one of the least useful weapons, but at least you have something. And well, now we're in the Dark World. That's the way Crossworld works. So Furimi is gonna take a little peek here in Dark World as a bunny.
That's an interesting bunny choice. Oh, and we get some. Looks like everything. There's 4 crystals in the Dark World and all 3 pendants. So we've got green Swamp Palace, blue at Turtle Rock, and red at Thieves Town. And hey, there's the bomb shop showing up at the kind of the mausoleum there at Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, that's a pretty convenient place to have the bomb shop very close to the pyramid.
Yeah, you don't even need the hammer to get to the Pyramid Fairy necessarily.
Yeah, and we saw in the Uncle's tunnel was the Kakariko well, so I guess gonna head over there. Don't really have a bomb for the Bumble wall yet, but it's definitely a potential to get some bombs in one of those chests before that.
Indeed, it looks like Axe gonna make his way over to the magical floating bush and fall down into the Uncle Hole, which gets him to, of course, Kakariko Well. And he's got the bow out of it. Very nice find.
Yeah, for sure. That's pretty Nice weapon to have early on. Just lacking some arrows, but sure gonna find some of those sooner or later.
Indeed, and well, turns out to be the sewer escape.
Yeah, so every entrance where you can jump down in a hole to get to, they're always going to be connected to their exits. So since the sanctuary was in the Kakariko Well, means that the back of escape was guaranteed to be there.
Indeed, and back of escape does have a sword there before I may. And that does make a lot of sense too, because you've got to have matching entrances and exits for this to work.
Yeah, that sword is going to be great as soon as they get down to the Minamolo cave here. Ike's going to pick up that sword now as well. Stunning some of the rats there before they got blown up by the bomb to check the stun price, 10 arrows.
It's very nice actually to get 20 arrows out of it. You got that bow now, so you can make good use of it. We've got half the brothers. So one half in the big house in Kakariko, and the other half is that's a quick warp.
Yeah. Ice Rock Cave not too far out of the way when you can just go over like that. And there was the old man. So that's going to be our third saving quick point as soon as they save the old man.
Indeed. One of the things to keep in mind, of course, is that as you're running this, you have to remember kind of where these save and quit points are, where the dungeon entrances. There's bonk rocks, just some bombs. I would definitely imagine that our runners are writing these things down. It's very, very difficult otherwise to kind of keep track of all this stuff. Hey, there's Hyrule Castle. It's in Kakariko now.
Yeah. And Furimi found the back of the old man led to the race game.
Yeah, he gets $100 for his troubles. And it looks like the left entrance for Hyrule Castle leads us out to the ledge. That's one of the funky things to keep in mind here, is that dungeons that have multiple exits will have multiple entrances elsewhere in the world. And also dungeons like Skull Woods that do have multiple parts are going to be probably in completely different chunks. So we'll be seeing, maybe the front half of Skull Woods is down at Lake Hylia and the back half is up on Death Mountain, and you're gonna have to kind of traverse that.
Yeah, it can definitely be one of the keys sometimes to remember what parts of the map connects to the other parts. Because sometimes that can be the only way the logic intends to get to certain items or areas, like the mire, for example. You might not need a flute to get there, but a connector instead.
Right, and there's all kinds of funky options where maybe, one half spits you out one place. You have to go, let's say, for, the back, let's say like for Turtle Rock, half of it is in one part, and you have to go through another dungeon to access the other half. So it's like you may go from Turtle Rock to Skull Woods to Turtle Rock, something like that.
The only dungeon that is a little bit special when it comes to that is actually Skull Woods. In terms of, it has so many holes that you can fall down to. So Skull Woods is always going to be kind of vanilla. It's just going to be randomized in with it itself, except for the back of Skull Woods. That can be anywhere.
That would make sense, because we do have that one hole that you can fall down in the first chunk of it. So that is going to be That is going to kind of be around where it should be. Oh, and we got a Quake. The first lift upgrade, the mirror.
Holy
and a shield.
moly. That's a lot of things.
Shoutouts to Mini Moldorm Cave, or I guess we should say shoutouts to the Kakariko Hut for having a bunch of good stuff.
Yeah, that's an early mirror as well is really good to have, because there's so many more places that you can mirror to than in a normal game mode.
Absolutely.
Definitely gonna help their routing.
And I think one of the other things too to keep in mind is that there's a possibility that Ganon's Tower, or an important dungeon, or even like getting into, if they have to go to the back half of Hyrule Castle and fight Aga 1, you may need to have certain items. Like if it's up on Graveyard Ledge, you're not getting up there without the mirror.
Yeah, for sure.
Of course, the logic takes all of these things into account when it's distributing the items, so that it should not put us in a hard lock situation where an item is in somewhere that you can't get to it without.
Yep. And well, I just found Hera and Framey. They get the big key. Don't need to go to the basement. So we're about to see our first crystal here.
Indeed, that's actually one of the things too to keep in mind as chat's mentioning. Ganon can be in the lumberjack drop. It does have to be in a drop location because of how you get into there. So any of the overworld drop locations, including the lumberjack tree, are possibilities. The ones that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah,
and that could mean that the Aga's required. Aga 1 is even required to get to Ganon.
Yeah, and there's only I think 8 drop-down locations like that, and we already seen a few of those, so that's definitely a possibility.
Right, and for everybody picking up the Magic Cape in the Big 20 in Tower of Hera, so that's both items out. We'll not have to go to the basement.
So Fighter Sword, Moldorm. That's gotta be everyone's favorite fight to do, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's the most vanilla of all possible combinations.
Oh, and for Amy activating the cape there to be a little bit extra safe against the Moldorm fight.
Yeah, especially that last phase when he gets really fast and just is bouncing all over the place.
Yeah, super speed Moldorm. That's I can catch even the best of runners off guard sometimes.
Indeed, and Lucas asking a question. If you fall off Moldorm, can you land anywhere? Because it's all contained within the level, you can't. You would land. You just go down a level. So the kind of entrances that you're seeing Act go through, not. What I want to say is the kind of drops and kind of doors you see here, those will all stay the same. Within the dungeon, there won't be any sort of randomization, because if you started doing that, it would get ridiculously complicated as Raime finds Uncle. And I don't think you could really put together a randomizer that would work very well with everything being randomized like that. So it's just the entrances. And Bombo's on Uncle.
Yeah, 2 out of 3 medallions already. We don't know if we're actually gonna need any of them, because the dungeons might not require it, but we're just gonna have to wait and see for that one.
Yep, we do need, as far as dungeons go, right now we know we do need at least one, because we're going to go to Misery Mire for a crystal.
Yeah, the point is, though, It's not certain
Oh,
Meyer
yeah,
is vanilla though.
Right, that's actually a good point. In fact, Meyer.
Oh,
In fact, it's not.
Meyer. Yeah, there we have it.
It's at. It's in Lost Woods. But good call on that. But in fact, we could need it still because it's possible that Meyer is actually holding hostage another dungeon or an item.
Yeah, for sure. And Lumberjack is just a piece of heart today, so no Ganon there, no required items, I'm afraid.
And Ack picking up the first crystal of the game for him at 15 minutes. So we've got both of the fortune teller locations have a light world dungeon. Very interesting.
Yeah. So it looks like Farami is gonna jump straight down here to the back of his skateboard in the vanilla back of entrance at least. And
he found Ganon. Hi.
There's Ganon.
And we can't beat him until he finishes the goal.
You cannot finish off Ganon before you finish the goal.
Well, there we go. There's our answer. Where's Ganon? Which drop is he under?
Yeah, he's hiding out in Sanctuary. Is that why the waterfall fairies are talking about our Lord and Savior Ganon?
I think so. Makes perfect sense when you think about it, Walter. Be the last place you'd check. Sanctuary. Ganon can never come to this holy place. Oh wait, he's underneath it? Oh, okay, that changes it. But yeah, that's another good point. Vixana pointing out in chat that Pendant Turtle Rock does mean a very low chance of pet requirement. Logically speaking, because of the fact that you need so much to get into Turtle Rock and to complete it, and none of those items can actually be within Turtle Rock, you'd have a logic lock there. So no, Hammer's not there. Kina Samaria is not there.
Yeah, it changes a little bit.
Yeah.
Because Mitts and Hammer might not be required for Touch Rock.
That's
which they normally are.
That's a possibility too.
But then again, like Touch Rock could be behind something else that normally would not be required to get to Touch Rock. So it's hard to tell sometimes.
It definitely is. This is kind of the chaos and the fun of this game mode is it plays with what you think you might need to get into a dungeon. Now, obviously, with Turtle Rock, you might not need the medallion. In fact, unless it's vanilla, I would really doubt that you would need a medallion to get into it. You'd obviously still need to fire around an ice rod to finish it, wherever that second half is. And
yeah.
You would need the Cane of Samaria still to go through it and check all the chests and whatnot.
Yeah, and since Touch Rock has 4 different entrances, it's highly likely that you'll find at least one of them, and maybe you can work your way backwards instead of from the main entrance and in, but all depends on what we find first. But right now, it's not much that they could do if they even found Touch Rock.
Yeah, actually, once again, chat pointing out a good point here. If Laser Bridge is separated from all of that too, then Kina Samaria could be on Laser Bridge with those 4 chests.
Yeah, definitely.
Rene finds the entrance to...
Yeah, it looks like Farami got Ether from the dark sewers chest in Escape there.
Interesting. I guess Act does have it as well, so that's interesting. And for me, there's the back half of Turtle Rock right there.
Yeah, and for me doing a bomb jump here, this is not in logic, but it's definitely a way you can do a sequence break to get a few chests in here.
Yes, indeed. He's going to be able to pick up at least, I believe, all of the chests that are before you get to the front of...
Yeah, we'll be able to get
Yeah.
the vanilla big key chest and the Sheen Jump one.
Indeed. And getting to see that bomb jump again, that's just an interesting little thing that you get to see with this game mode. Is normally you're not going to do that bomb jump, right? Although you're not. I mean, it's not really useful.
Yeah, exactly. In a normal open mode, you would never have a reason to do so.
But here, it's a little bit of tech that if you know how to do it, if you know that's possible, you can do something really cool like this. In fact, there's the big key right there.
Yeah.
So
we'll be able to mirror and possibly do another bomb jump to get the big chest as well.
Absolutely. It's really a game mode that puts a lot of your technical knowledge to work, because you're going to be going into dungeons in different doors in different ways that the vanilla kind of game mode, I guess you could say, you don't really think about that too much. You're not really like, oh well.
Yeah, and speaking of bomb jumps, Activoker did a bomb jump as well. Did a bit of a sequence break too to get to another connector and find some Mire area, and also the dam in Chickboard Cave.
Indeed. So this is interesting. I'm not quite sure how the dam's going to work with this, as far as...
So once you drain the dam, it's gonna it's gonna stay activated like that for the rest of the seed.
Okay, right. But that's really interesting though, that you would have to go up the Checkerboard Cave and then find the entrance to the Swamp House. He's got silvers. Finding silvers here.
And as a bunny, you can actually pick them up as well.
This looks like it's that was Hammerpig Cave, I think.
Yeah, I believe so. So it looks like Ak is also gonna mirror here to check the main entrance of Desert, which you would normally need a book for, but
oh, and it's I think that's the mausoleum room in Palace of Darkness.
Yeah.
We don't normally get to see that very much, because nobody has a reason to go there.
And the bunny adventures continues here on Faramis side as well. Found the one of the entrances in Turtle Rock led to the archery game. So I had no idea what that bunny sprite for Furimi is supposed to be.
I think it's somewhat with Kingdom Hearts. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not big on my Kingdom Hearts, unfortunately. Knack is the reindeer. He's playing as the winter sprite, the winterling sprite.
It's definitely a bit of a challenge to navigate the world as a bunny, because you don't really have any defenses whatsoever except for your movement. But yeah, walking around in Dark World like this is completely in the logic, and sometimes required even to get to Moon Pearl.
Indeed. So, for some people wondering how they're able to kind of mix up the entrances like this, and if I remember right about A Link to the Past, and this is kind of tapping into some additional knowledge, please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong at all, author. But I believe all of these interior locations that you see are all technically on the same map, which is why that the wrap glitch in Major Glitches also works for exploration, because you can kind of move around and go all over the place.
I couldn't correct you even if I wanted to. I'm not sure if that's correct or not, but I'm gonna assume it is.
I think that's the case. I'm not entirely sure, so please don't necessarily.
So I
100%
jumped into Skullwoods here, and he's taking a death, which means that he's gonna come back to life again, but without having the bunny state. So you can actually complete everything inside of the dungeon, but he will become a bunny as soon as he leaves again.
Indeed.
So found the first item here in Skullwoods, just a piece of heart.
Savory pointing out that Frame might be a nobody, which is a character from Kingdom Hearts. I do remember it's basically like somebody who's lost their heart. So that would kind of make sense if that's the case. We get to go to Not Hype Cave, and it's Palace of Darkness.
Yeah. Gonna find out very soon if it's bow locked or not. But even if it is, we do have the bow, so we're gonna be able to get at the very least 4 items here, and if they manage to pick up a hammer here, could even complete it.
Mm-hmm. And with that book, Frame is going to get a chance to check the tablet here. Get a nice play. I make things go triple boom, so that's going to be just a triple bomb.
That's a nice time save for not having the Master Sword to have to do the entire bombos information to get something you didn't even want to get.
Of course, that Hoarder having a couple of bombs there, so why not? And there is the interior of Spectacle Rock.
Yeah, this is where Act did the bomb jump to get to Meyer, so we'll see. Raimi has the bomb equipped, so it looks like they'll be making the same move here.
I believe so. It's always good in this game mode if you can do the bomb jumps to do them and kind of get some idea of where these entrances will go to.
Yeah, unfortunately missing it, and yeah, that's not gonna get a second chance until you go back to the place where you found the entrance before, because they're not really close by each other as they normally are, Death Mountain.
Right. And oh, there's another Death Mountain entrance, but it is the entrance to Bumper Cave. There's Ack making his way through Palace of Darkness right now.
Yeah, the dark rooms are definitely something I would recommend people practicing if you want to test entrance shuffle, because the lamp in a normal game mode can be in a lot of stupid locations, and in entrance could be in even more stupid locations. So being able to bypass the lamp is definitely something that can be good to do sometimes.
Indeed.
Finding the flippers there from
yeah, picking up the water toes. Flippers, of course. But I get to see what's over here on the dark maze. Gets the boots, gets the other footwear.
That's pretty cool. Both of them in Paths of Darkness, and yeah.
I would like to change the name temporarily just for the seed from Palace of Darkness to Palace of Darkness.
I am okay with that.
Yeah. Since we're finding all these shoes here, might as well, you know, give it a fitting name.
For Amy, finding the Hype Cave in Thieves Town. As a bunny, you can talk to the NPC, so getting the Master Sword, but not gonna be able to check out the rest of it. We're still a bit of a lookout for that Moon Pearl.
Indeed, finding that's gonna open up everything around here as far as the Dark World goes. It's gonna make it a lot easier. Gonna get a lot more chests. Obviously, you know, you can go back to Hype Cave and actually finish out the rest of it. You can do a lot of these chests and checks that you might not be able to do in bunny mode. That's a good start. And right, man, ending up on the jump side of Desert Palace there.
So we had the west wing of Hyrule Castle leading to the west exit of Palace of Desert Palace, and the right exit leading to the right in Desert as well.
Well, I guess that makes sense. There's at least a little bit of logic behind that.
So using the flippers here to get to Hobo counts as a overworld location, so it's not going to be shuffled with everything else. Same goes with the pedestal and Sora.
Yep, I did catch chat was mentioning that as well a little bit earlier. So all these transition areas here, like Zora, Ped, and the Hobo, are going to stay the same. So there's always going to be an item there. There's always going to be 2 up at Zora. Of course, probably a scam, but you never know. And then Ped will always be in the same spot.
And for Amy not having the bow yet, so only being able to check that first chest in Palace of Darkness, so gonna miss out on those flippers and boots for a bit longer.
And Waterfall Cave leads to Paradox Cave.
That's not a bad find at all. 2 connectors and 7 items.
Absolutely.
And 300 rupees right before Sora as well.
Just a bunch of red things so far.
Yeah.
And some arrows. So 4 red things and an arrow. Does that count as 4 of a kind? Is that a winning hand in poker? Oh, and Ack is going to do a hover. Nicely done!
Yeah, I'll imagine that's not gonna be the last time we're gonna see the hover from Ack in this run.
I always enjoy seeing a good hover. And there's one exit. It's going to be into Village of Outcasts for the top exit of Paradox Cave. Next, and go downstairs and see where this the second one takes us.
Yeah, and wow, okay.
Also, Village of Outcasts. Okay.
Interesting. Unfortunately, so Ack is using the mirror to get up here, but it's not going to be able to do the bomb jump as a bunny, which
Or
they
hover.
Yeah, I just realized here. Yeah, I guess if the Super Bunny can use the boots, so I guess yeah, as a Super Bunny, you should be able to hover. Actually,
are we gonna get a bunny hover?
It would appear so.
Oh boy! Oh, he's trying. He's trying. Is he gonna do it again? This is rare. I don't think I've ever seen this done before. Not to say that he's going to give up on it. It's probably
yeah, I'm not sure if the Super Bunny state continues when you go up the stairs. It might be that it resets.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
In the meanwhile, we saw Framey finding the laser bridge at Flute Spot 5. Close to Eastern there. Don't think we got anything important from it except for a bottle, and it looks like Fermi also picked up the blue mail.
Indeed. And right now, Ack is looking for that return to the where they're finding again the back half of Eternal Rock there. Actually, that's the front half.
There's the chess game and the moon pearl for Fermi in Sahasrola's house.
I'll be very happy to find that.
Yeah, that's gonna open up quite a lot of things. Interestingly,
oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, as a runner, you're happy enough to find it in vanilla. You know, I can only imagine in this kind of game mode, you're really happy to find it.
Yeah, for sure. Now having the moon pearl, not gonna hear that sweet super Dark World bunny music anymore though.
If you really want to hear it, I can sing it.
Might take you up on that. We'll see.
I like it as well, so I kind of have it in the back of my head. But Ack taking a death there just to get through and get back to the start here. Obviously couldn't get past that chain jump room, so
yeah,
kind of stuck.
So Palace of Darkness being a fast fairy instead. You'll see what we get for throwing in a bottle. And talking about the Lord and Savior Ganon, yeah.
Ooh.
You know where he is. Blue potion, yeah, that's
a nice find. That's a nice find.
So both runners have a advantage on each other right now. Fermi having the moon pearl, and Ack having the boots and the flippers from Pod, and also
the bow.
being able to get them by having the bow from the Kakrika well, which was in the uncle's tunnel.
Indeed, and of course Silver Arrow is picking those up from the the relocated Hammerpeg Cave.
So Feremi found a spiral cave there. It's gonna wait a bit to check what it gives, because have a ton of different entrances over here that they might want to check out first. It's a one-way trip in spiral cave, so you're not going to be able to get back.
Yep. So actually, I think I was going to say I think we found the answer. Where does it go?
I think Feremi knows that answer as well.
Yeah, I think we saw that earlier, and I just caught a glimpse of it and forgot what it was. But now we remember.
We see Feremi doing a lot of mirrors here, because there's so many entrances that you can check, combining Dark World and Light World. So having that mirror is definitely turning out to be a good routing choice here. And it's going to be able to mirror at the top of the pyramid soon as well, to see what's at the top of Hyrule Castle.
That's a very good point. He's about to go get that bow and fall down through the hole underneath the mysterious floating bush. He's in Kakariko Well.
Yeah, it's interesting normally in an open mode. Usually don't take 40 minutes to get to the uncle. But there's so many different spots that you can go to in entrance. There's so many potential divergences that you can do as runners as well. So it's really interesting to see how people decide to route it. So Ack now finding back at Sora again. The ledge didn't really have anything, but we'll see what Sora itself has. And on top of Hyrule Castle, we have Blind's Hut. And I don't think we saw any connectors up here. So mirror on the top of the pyramid is the only way to get to this location. Red meal. So not really any progression in Blind's Hut, but a bit of safety. Never hurts, right? So Ack having the
Never hurts.
Ack having the boots, being able to check some extra bulk locations here. So looks like Ack might be heading over to eastern area soon if he decides to continue in this direction, so might be able to find that moon pillar soon. Feremi playing the chess game here.
Pays 100 to get 20.
Yeah. Try their luck again here. There we go. 300 rupees. Not bad.
You know, I completely forgot about, up until this moment, I completely forgot this was in the game.
Yeah. Probably trying to farm for Sora here. Little does Feremi knows that there's 300 rupees right next to Sora, but I guess that's actually Flipper's Law, so Feremi would not be able to get that. Seems like Furimi gave up on that idea and is just heading up here to Catfish instead. And at least gonna be able to check the ledge item from Sora. And 300 rupees from Sora. Oh my god, from Catfish, I mean. Remy should have stopped when they got their 300, would have had enough now. Now instead being so close to have enough money.
And goes up there just to check the ledge and finds it's 3 bombs. Meanwhile, Ack has found Laser Bridge.
Yeah, I believe he'll get his blue mail here.
Yes, indeed.
And Furimi is soon going to pick up those flippers and boots as well. So they're kind of recapping a little bit of what the other runner has done so far.
Indeed, gonna go to the mall after school here. And, on a shopping trip, get some new shoes. Just a little bit of knowledge there too for Ack that hey, you gotta go to Ice Palace to get your bomb.
Yeah, it's interesting because Ack actually talked to the bomb shop guy there, and oh no, Ack lost his mirror portal there by probably not going to be able to pick that up again. But Ack did talk to the bomb shop guy and then check the the map location afterwards. Probably not used to checking the map in entrance because normally people play it with key sanity where you cannot check the map. But yeah, Ack picking up that moon pearl now as well, so it's gonna have full dark world access through connectors at least.
Yep, so that's gonna be welcome sight. We'll be able to go back and get some of those locations maybe that he wasn't able to get in Super Bunny State, so he's also gonna check the right side here and about to find out that he's gonna be in a desert. Very interesting here to see Furimi doing this without any sort of sort out, just by pure knowledge of button pressing, managing to get both the chests. But you know, you get enough practice there, and there's a hover from Ack.
Yeah, even changing items at the same time. Back in Meyer again, because with this moon pearl now, it's going to be able to open up and see what this entrance is.
Watch it be something really silly, like, gosh, what silly entrance? Like it's a shop or something at this point.
Sick kid.
Sick kid. Be great.
Oh,
it was a shop.
No.
Nice.
It's a very exclusive shop. Only people who has the Quake medallions are allowed to purchase from that shop.
It is the Sam's Club of Link to the Past shops. You need to have a membership to get in. Oh, he's gonna hover. Gap. Nice.
So you might be wondering why we haven't, anyone is watching right now might be wondering if why we haven't seen any menus yet, or very few of them at least. Because in entrance you're allowed to have quick swap on, which means that with your L and R buttons on the controller you can switch items that way instead of doing the menu. So it's both Feremi and Activoker is taking liberty of using that to switch items instead and saving a bit of menu time.
Absolutely. So when we see the menu time at the end of the game, it's really low.
Yeah, I would imagine both of them having less than a minute menu time.
There's that big key showing up. Desert Palace.
Yeah, we have a lot of dungeons missing at this point. We have seen the front of Desert, but not the back where the boss is, and Hera and Pod, but that's about it. I guess we've seen Turtle Rock as well, and now that I think about it, Mire too.
We've seen bits and pieces of dungeons, but I think one of the places we haven't really seen, we haven't been up in Overworld Death Mountain very much.
Yeah, actually, not at all. And speaking of Death Mountain, Ak is gonna have access to the east part of Death Mountain, at least the use of the mirror. Fun mimic. Was that a vanilla mimic cave?
Yeah, I was about to ask you. I don't know if mimic cave is one of those. There's the back half of Desert Palace.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that Ak is not finishing it up straight away.
I'm gonna go to C-shaped house instead and pick up a little bit of love, but I assume he'll probably go ahead. Oh, he actually we can't finish it up because we don't have something to light the torches with.
Oh, you're right. That makes sense then.
No fire source, so yeah, there could be a whole bunch of dungeons hanging out here because there's just so many entrances and exits here in Death Mountain that we've not seen so far.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, not just on the Light World side, but the Dark World side as well. We've seen a lot of these cave locations already.
And for Amy, finding the back of Skull was here. But yeah, still missing a fire source as well, so it's not going to be able to take care of that. Looks like Ag is going to hover the hookshot cave here.
Oh my goodness. Ag, you madman. He's going to have to hover this last little gap. Get to that last chest. He's gonna make it.
Oh, and there's the fire source. Okay.
He's gonna hover. I think he wanted to hover across to see if he could get to the bombable thing up here, but now he's just gonna walk across.
So yeah, having a fire source right now, that's pretty big then. Well, that's pretty convenient.
Hey, there's the kid. Oh!
There's our second fire source. Okay.
Well, we were just complaining about not having one, and good news
Yeah.
for Actabacher. The second half of Desert Palace that you needed that fire source for is right up here.
Yeah.
You just gotta get past the bumper first.
And seeing where that lantern was as well does give us the information that the hookshot will not be locked by a what's it called? A dark room.
Yeah, very interesting here. So actually, he's gonna have access to get back up to the top there, because Bumper Cave spits him back out on the floating island. So now he just has to. Oh, he's gonna go in here.
This is, yeah, and this is also gonna give him access to the west part of Death Mountain.
Ooh,
And
he's got
Eastern.
Yeah, Eastern Palace. A lot of the dungeons up here.
Fully clearable as well. Yeah.
Welcome to
Death
Dungeon
Mountain
Mountain.
having all the value right now.
Indeed. I was kind of wondering about this, Walther, because we hadn't seen a lot of Death Mountain entrances and exits yet. We'd only seen where all of the caves were located on the inside. And the fact that we'd seen so many of them and had not seen dungeons was starting to make me think that there were a couple up here on Death Mountain.
Yeah, like just in terms of how many entrances there is on Death Mountain, it's definitely always going to be a pretty high possibility of at least finding 1 or 2 dungeons up here, and sometimes even more.
We have not seen Ganon's Tower yet, for those wondering. We haven't seen where that entrance is.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of things we could do in Ganon's Tower right now if we even found it, because we don't have the cane yet to go to the right side or the hammer to go to the left side. I guess with a super early big key, you could actually go upstairs, but you don't have the hookshot to go to Aga. But I guess Ag could actually hover that if he wants to, but if that even becomes a possibility.
Mm-hmm. And one of the interesting things here too is that Ak was able to hover across the gap there to get the lamp. If you can't hover across that gap, you're gonna need to find a hook shot before you can get that lamp.
Yeah, and who knows that that chest that spawns for killing Moldor might actually be required. I guess you could actually kill Moldor and then do the hover.
It's possible. Oh, we did find both items in Tower of Hera, though. It was a cape and a...
No, I'm talking about the Moldor too.
Yeah. Ah, yes. The Paladin chest, as people like to call it, but last chest in the game. That's really the proper name for it.
So Farami found the entrance to get up to Death Mountain on the west side. So he's soon gonna be able to get over to check all of these things that Ak is checking right now.
Right.
Or actually not. They do have the mirror to get up to the Vanilla Hera location, but not the hammer to get over to the east side.
Yeah. We're gonna get to see some interesting checks here. Oh, there's Thieves Town. Hello. So we've at least got 3 dungeons up here.
Yeah, I guess Swamp Palace and Ice Palace is the only dungeons except for Ganon's Tower that we haven't seen yet then.
Yeah, we haven't seen a couple of locations on the Dark World side here. Ak's going to be checking them now. Oh, that's Turtle Rock. So that's 4. 4, between Light and Dark World, we've got 4 dungeons.
Yeah.
Parts of dungeons up here.
Remy finding a small key in the first 4 chests here of Feast Town, so might be there's a possibility of not getting all of the items here.
And question from chat. Yeah, question from chat. Could ice be in its vanilla spot? Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not necessarily likely, but it could 100% be up there. And there's Sahasrahla. I guess that makes sense. We just found Eastern Palace. Why wouldn't Sahasrahla be right nearby?
Yeah, right. So Ack decided to jump down to the East Dark Mountain first, because Ack knows that he's guaranteed to be able to use the connector to get it up to the top again before heading over to the west side.
Pretty good play.
So, in terms of finding the old man and returning him home, he's always guaranteed to be somewhere here on the west Death Mountain, because you need to bring him to his vanilla entrance home. So we're gonna see him in one of these entrances.
Ether tablet. Fortunately, does not have anything of value. Yeah, it's Waterfall Cave. Relocated to Tower of Hera. And a fire shield for Army showing up in Blind Cell.
Yeah, Feremi also got a shovel from Thieves' Town, but except for that, I don't think we've seen a lot of value here. I'm not sure. Gonna have to wait and see if there's an item in the big chest or not.
And Ack is go ahead and release the bees.
Yeah, using the bee strats on. Looks like it's actually pushing one of the Blind's head off screen.
Off the screen, that's amazing. And there's the compass. So the item is indeed hiding in the big chest. Very nice to see the bomb pumping strats there to get up the ladder. Have that spin speed activated. Be seeing some checks that we have seen already from Ack. So we know this is going to be a piece of art. We know that the Waterfall Cave is going to be in Tower of Hera.
Yeah. Might see, for me now has an empty bottle from releasing that piece. Might see what we get from the Waterfall Fairy as well by catching or throwing it in a bottle. But no, skipping that.
It'd be funny if you got a bee back for that.
Yeah, right? Is the...
So I wonder if this is going to be Spike Cave. Indeed it is. And it's going to be the mushroom.
Both the mushroom and the shovel up here on West Death Mountain. Is missing the powder to make it a hat trick or fetch quest. And
one of the interesting things there, I think, for Army, noticing the path that you take through the dark room. Oh, an ice palace! Oh my goodness. That's we're up to 5 now. 5 partial or full dungeons up here on Death Mountain.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So yeah, it's not completable. It is a crystal, but we need the hammer in order to beat it. So for Amy deciding to dip in though. Really nice bomb stress there, using 2 bombs to take care of all of the pen gators in that first room.
Absolutely. So I think the thing is, I think we've seen most of the locations now up here on, I guess we call it Challenge Mountain. There's just so much stuff up here to do, so many dungeons to go through.
Yeah, right. It's like
Oh, and there's the old man, in fact, right there. I was wondering because we went to one of the doors, and you could tell from the way that Karame was moving that it wasn't this room, because the path that he was moving was not correct. It wasn't this little jog there. Wow, Karame going through and doing some cool strats in Ice Palace.
Yeah.
Buns.
The bombs has a lot of use in Ice Palace for sure. Especially when you can do a high execution like Framey is showing off here.
I wonder if we'll see the bomb jump across a small gap here.
Ooh, getting the small key. Looks like
Nice.
Framey was tempted to go to the east or to the right side of Ice Palace first, but
Nice. Indeed, we do see that bomb jump. He sets it up beautifully.
yeah, getting a little bit of a shortcut here to Ice Tea Room.
Yeah, for those wondering about the sprites, we do have a bunch of sprites that are sprite artists and developers have put together. There's over 100 now in version 29 and version 30, which is in production right now. We'll have even more. A bunch of new and interesting requests that have been fulfilled, including probably a couple that might get me to actually change my my sprite for when I run. So I'm very looking forward to see what's new.
Yeah, there's definitely seems to be a lot of interesting new sprites for sure.
Indeed, we want to thank our wonderful sprite dev teams for doing all the hard work of animating those and getting them all put together for us. It's a lot of work, but sometimes we don't get to say thanks enough for that.
So Framey checked all of the chests that wasn't locked by the hammer. Only got 1 item, and it was only a little bit of money. So gonna have to dip out.
Indeed, and actually going through the exact same cave room that Ack just went through, but doing it in the dark instead.
Yeah, there's only a few dark rooms that are like overworld caves. So it can be, if you know all of them, you can kind of quickly tell which one you're in.
Bonk Rocks has been replaced with Graveyard Ledge. I want to say, I think our runners, they may not like the single rupee there, but they probably like the fact that it's not on Graveyard Ledge.
Yeah. Speaking of Graveyard Ledge, I will imagine Ack will head over there soon as well. Also do the King's Tomb.
Here's a check you don't get to see very often. It's just a shop, but
Yeah.
you don't normally get to see people going there too much.
Might see it a lot more in the upcoming inverted mode though, because that's where you're gonna start instead of Sanctuary.
Interesting.
So Ak is now going to be able to finish Skullwoods, having the fire rod already.
That's going to be crystal number 3 for him.
Yeah. So both our runners are in Skullwoods right now, a little bit different parts of it, yes.
Yes. They're technically in the same dungeon, just in weirdly different positions.
And looks like the Moth is being rude as always, but Ak takes full control of it and gets the job done. Crystal number 3 pickup.
So I kind of wonder what's... Oh, there's the hammer. Ooh.
That's big. So I think the big key was actually in the here in the back of Skullwoods. Ak is gonna go back in because he only has 1 item so far. He's gonna pick up that big key.
Yeah, it was
that's a big.
It's in the back half here. We're actually getting a pet check, it looks like, from Frime. So everybody be happy. Just couch cash. Yes, it always seems to be.
Rip the pet dreams. So Frame is starting at Link's house, and with that hammer actually has proper Darkworld access now. Don't need to rely on connectors to take you to the Darkworld anymore.
Nope. But what's in Hype Cave? Or the outside of Hype Cave? It's just a fairy fountain.
Yeah. Not very hype.
Oh, Ak finding the castle tower. Here's the fortune teller.
So Farimi is now gonna get a lot of the items that Ak got. With the hammer, is actually gonna be able to check Mimic Cave here straight away. And then clear out the rest of the dungeons and get the items that Ak did earlier on here. Nice hammer dash out of the exit there into the portal.
And of course, there's the second half of Desert Palace.
Yeah,
Doesn't quite have the fire sources yet, but he's about to get them both.
yeah, at least one of them. We'll have to see if they decide to hover as well as acted to get the lantern.
That is a good point.
So I see a question in chat about the witch entrance. Because, yeah, Akius turned in the mushroom, but didn't go straight back in to get the item because the entrance is shuffled, just like all of the others are. And it is in the right entrance of race game is the witch shop.
So, be very interesting here. We are still looking for, let's see what we're still looking for as far as locations, as far as items. I believe we know where all the dungeons are now, except for, I don't think we've seen Swamp Palace.
Yeah, and also Ganon's Tower.
Yes, Ganon's Tower and Swamp Palace. As far as items go, what would put us in no mode at this point would be the hook shot and the key to Samaria. Maybe not so much the hook shot for Ack, because he can hover, so. Key to Samaria we definitely need for Misery Miner.
Yeah, and I was gonna say Ice Rod, but that's not true, is it? Because Chuckrock is dependent.
Yes, and because of the way that everything's laid out, we don't, because of the entrances are all mixed up, we don't necessarily need the flute to go anywhere. We don't need it for Misery Mire. And it's really all you need it for is to get that access underneath the rock. So, can't really think of a reason that we would be needing the flute at this point.
Yeah, not really. Flute would only be nice to have in terms of navigation, but not really required.
Yeah, Pyramid Hole entrance is also random, but it's also one of the things to keep in mind is that there's a set number of those drop-down entrances. So once we've done enough of those, we can kind of figure out if we've done everything except for one, then we know what the pyramid entrance hole will take us to.
We should know it at this point.
I believe it's Lumberjack Ledge.
Yeah, it should be Lumberjack. Yeah, we cannot skip Ganon's Tower because there's two different goals you can have when playing entrance. One is to have crystal goals when you don't have to kill Agatu before you kill Ganon, or you can have the Ganon goal, but which means that you need to kill Agatu before Ganon, and that's the goal that we have today. So they will still need to find Ganon's Tower, get the big key, and then kill Agatu before they have to kill.
Oh, there's the hook shot for Ack.
There's the hook shot, yeah. Where was that? I was in
Ice Rod Cave, which was in the back half of Skull Woods, one of the places we hadn't seen.
Yeah, so you needed to go up on East of Mountain and get a fire rod, and then go back up to East of Mountain to get the lantern.
So really, all we're looking for at this point, if you're Octobacher, you're one item away from go mode, and that item is Canis Samaria, because he's gonna pick up the hammer here in just a moment. He's gonna hover that gap. Of course, he's gonna hover that gap. He's been hovering everything all night.
Yeah. What's the point of learning how to hover if you don't get a chance to show it off, right?
What's the point of learning how to hover once if you don't hover over every living thing you possibly can from that point onward? I mean, hovering is not an easy thing to do. There's, I would say, the number of people that that I know that it can execute it regularly and with that level of ease, like Ack, it's probably there's probably no more than a dozen people that can kind of have that execution that regularly. It is not easy to do. Yeah, I would agree that indeed, if you can do it, why not do it? You know?
Yeah, for sure. You learned it for a reason, right?
Right.
And Ack now doing the Spy Cave, having the hammer. While Framey is, without the silver, is gonna have to do the normal fast kill on Armos.
Indeed. So with the King of Samaria, we're gonna have to kind of remember too what we've seen and what we haven't seen so far. Oh, that was actually a really cool idea. I didn't have enough magic to do it entirely, but he did a. He's gonna die, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He did a spin speed off the tiny steps. Oh, he's got a fairy. He'll be okay. He did a spin speed off the tiny steps, and they got the Cane of Burna out, and spin speed ran with what little magic he had to get through the rest of the spikes. That's actually really cool.
Yeah, and it's not every day it would be useful to actually walk out of Spy Cave. But yeah, having more things to do here.
Yeah, we still haven't seen Ganon's Tower. But there's that light source. There we go. And
wow,
half
and there's
magic.
Half magic, that would have been useful about like a minute ago.
I feel like that's the thing, Walther, about half magic. It either shows up immediately before you need it, or immediately after it would have been useful.
Yeah, something like that.
It's either a savior, like you go into Cold Stare and you get that, and you're like, oh, okay, well, this fight just got a lot easier. Or you do the Cold Stare fight, and then you're like, oh, that was brutal. What's in this? Oh, God, it's half magic.
Yeah, the game definitely seems to have a sense of humor. And oh, speaking of a sense of humor, there's the ice rod.
Hey.
Well, it's not really going to be important until we have the King of Samaria, I said. And
Great.
the King of Samaria is the last item that Ack is really looking for right now. Except for maybe we could still need mitts for finding Ganon's Tower, I guess.
That's true. Could need mitts for that.
For all we know, Ganon's Tower could even be vanilla.
Could absolutely be the case.
So for Amy, looks like for Amy might be heading into Ice Palace again. Now having the hammer, it's fully completable, while Ack is heading back into Pod, which is also completable.
It's got the fire rod too.
Hammer, yeah.
So that'll be a little bit easier on the Cold Stare fight at the very least. Second phase, almost the ice shell a little bit, and then use the fire rod once you've got those guys all trapped, all the Cold Stare eyes all trapped together in the corner.
So none of our runners have went into Mire yet, which is understandable. We don't have the King of Samaria yet, but there's always that possibility of vanilla items.
Certainly could be the case. I've Even in regular rando, I've seen vanilla Ganon Samaria quite a few times. About to say hello to our favorite masked friend, Mr. King.
Yeah, going for the little bit more faster but a little less safer route of having your sword spins out while destroying the mask, doing it fastly and then just one silver to the face. Down goes Helmstar.
Just like that. It's compass for a shovel. More importantly, getting that crystal. So that's number 4. 3 more to go. Well, it'd be something, Walther, if turns out that Swamp Palace... Oh, there's the myths, by the way.
Oh, there's the myth.
Ice Palace.
Not every day you see that in Ice Palace, is it?
Nope. I was about to say, wouldn't it be something if Ganon Samaria is in Swamp Palace? And that we haven't seen it yet?
Yeah, that would be...
or
would be a bit rude to runners, but... would kind of fit with the way randomizer works sometimes, right?
Indeed, chat demands a sacrifice.
When Frame is done here in Ice Palace, we'll be having the opportunity to open up the vanilla location of the Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah. That's one we haven't seen. Indeed, we are going to see the Bombos, the magic efficient route, going with the Bombos to get rid of the shell, and then spin them into the corner here, and just keep popping away.
Wow, got a triple hit there. There's a double as well, the Fire Rod.
Absolutely beautifully done by Prime with those Fire Rod shots. You always want to try and get those lined up so you can get as many of them in one shot as you can. Just efficiency.
So being up on Death Mountain already and just getting the myths, might see Farimi head up to the Turtle Rock vanilla entrance, or just 7 quid. So instead gonna use those newfound myths to check the vanilla Ice Palace entrance instead.
That's not a bad decision.
Yeah, you had to beat Ice Palace in order to check the vanilla Ice Palace entrance.
And it's Swamp Palace.
There's Swamp Palace, and we know where the dam is as well, in Checkerboard Cave.
Meanwhile, Lamolus was here, Lamolus is gone. Lamolus left the compass behind. Akat's crystal number 5.
So my hopes of the a dungeon in the Pyramid Fairy starting to die out now, unless Ganon's Tower is there, I guess.
That'd be something. I don't think it's totally dead yet, because we've checked a lot of these locations, but we've yet to find the Ganon's Tower entrance.
Yeah.
So we're kind of running out of places to look.
So Feremi is now gonna take care of the moth while Activoker is heading into Ice Palace. Gonna get those mids. We saw Act going for the Quake strats against the Pengators. It actually only works on them while they're on the ground, so if they're jumping while you're doing the Quake animation, they will not take any damage. So made sure to get the Quake hit as soon as possible when they enter the room. And Act going for some more hovers here instead of doing the bomb jump.
Why not? You know, as we said, you know how to do it. Show it off.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely sign off for that. So in terms of go mode right now, Act needs the Canis Moria and find Ganon's Tower, and Feremi needs the hookshot, Canis Moria, and to find where Ganon's Tower is. Technically also the lamp, but we've seen them ignore the lamp in dark rooms enough to know that they're not going to need it at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess another sword is probably something that the runners would not say no to at this point. And here we see Feremi doing the same strat as Act tried to do. Feremi having enough magic so could just speedrun through the entire spy cave there.
Not only that, he did it with a friend.
Yeah.
So.
And then, was the Smith vanilla? Yeah, it looks like it was.
Yes, it was. And Act's not picking up his Titan's mitts. And for all that hard work, you get 1 rupee. There's Ganon's Tower.
There's Ganon's Tower. So Titansmith's required for Ganon's Tower then. And there's a tempered sword as well.
It's fine.
So yeah, if you wanna.
Ooh, there's the key.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you wanna guess a number, you're gonna have to be quite fast. Actually, someone already typed 3 before that, so credits to you.
Congratulations. Ringo Tolera, good job being very quick on that. Using some bomb jumps and bonks here to get across and check some of these locations. Needs, however, when you can bomb jump and bonk like a master.
Yeah. There's
Butter
sword
sword
as well.
Hello.
So the upcoming chest that Feremi is heading towards now is actually in logic without the hookshot, because of these bonks that Feremi is doing to get over there. Now we know what a hookshot is, but in Feremi's mind, this could just as easily have been the hookshot.
Yeah, keep in mind too. He's looking out for the King of Samaria as well.
Yeah.
And who knows? It could be within here. If you don't have to go right side for anything, it could be deep within GT.
Yeah, it could even be in the gauntlet upstairs if they get the big key on the left side or ice armors.
Of course, the ideal dream for anyone who wants to be trolly enough is that it's on the big chest, because nobody ever checks that.
Yeah, right. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. The King of Samaria could be within these upcoming chests here. It could be upstairs, maybe. Could be in the big chest. Could be on the final chest, even. Yeah, it cannot be in tile room, cannot be on right side, simply because otherwise you would not be able to get to it.
Yep. It's the only limitations for the king right now, in terms of Ganon's heart, at least. So Feremi will be checking the big chest, I would imagine.
Absolutely, you guys are in for a treat. Don't always get to see this one.
Well,
it's red,
so yeah, close enough. And deciding not to go upstairs yet makes a lot of sense when you don't have the hookshot yet.
Yeah, it needed to be more stick-like.
Yeah. I mean, you have the dwarf right there. Maybe they can reforge it into a red cane instead.
Can you turn this big 20 into a red cane in Samaria?
Like, it's the least they can do after saving one of them.
Look, you only gave me 1 rupee. You gotta give me a little bit more. Yeah, but here's a check that we're gonna get to see over on the right side, and Anak is gonna go ahead and try and open up the Pyramid Fairy, and it's red, but it's just a little bit of love. Yeah, tile room and the 4 chests on the right side, all cane locked, so obviously can't be there. Prime about to pick up a nice rod. Unfortunately, Trinex is not a possibility because you need said cane to get over to Trinex in the first place.
Yeah. Inside of the pyramid was the tavern.
Mm-hmm. I think the only person who's probably ever going to be able to... Oh, and there's a house there where there should be a tower. But I think the only person... Actually, I shouldn't say person because it's a robot. But I think Taskbot's probably the only one that's ever going to really be able to consistently hover that Trinex gap to have to bypass the... Oh, actually, this is good here. Getting a chance to check out 5 chests in here we haven't seen all game.
We saw Framey do it.
Oh, we did see Framey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's red.
And speaking of that gap over to Trinex, I've actually seen Ak hover that before. So
okay, I stand corrected.
Yeah, I think the torch room though is the one that.
Gotcha.
But I don't imagine we'll see it today because it would be pointless if you're looking for the king.
Yeah. We still need it for Misery Mire anyways. You can't hover the switch.
Yeah, that's gonna be a hard one to do. Maybe you can use the boosts to phase through the walls. That would probably not be allowed.
No, Arthur, I think that's called major glitches.
That would probably be there. So Ag has a choice here. Yeah, he's not happy about it. Should I go into Swamp or not? And it seems like he says, no, I'm not going to go into Swamp.
No, he says, I don't want to spend the time in there. Unless he's certain that that is where he needs to be. We haven't seen the vanilla Turtle Rock entrance because they were waiting on getting the Titansmiths to get up there in the first place.
Ak is heading to do the Smith sequence, it looks like. So we'll be finding Ganon's tower and having the hook shot already. Might just go upstairs as well and beat Aga too.
I think we'll probably see him go and open up a lot of the chests and stuff that we've seen already. Fry may do. Simply because of the fact that if you're looking for that Cane of Samaria, you're not gonna be passing up opportunities to go and get those chests.
Yeah.
Even if it's a lot of time.
You know what would be a pretty cool place to find the Cane of Samaria right now? Inside the pyramid, which is Lumberjack.
Oh, that would be interesting.
So the only 2 dungeons we haven't seen any of the runners do quite yet is Swamp Palace and Mire. And Framey still have not activated the dam, and the only way that you could even get to Mire was by doing a sequence break by a bomb jump. So if Swamp is required, that means that the flute is going to be required as well. In terms of the logic, at the very least.
This is definitely where it gets very interesting, as we're seeing Ack go through and get his butter sword.
Yeah, I would imagine that Ack will do the climb here, because it's something that he's gonna have to do at some point anyways, and grabbing the 4th chest and then the 5th one from the pyramid is just like a bonus on the way.
Yeah. Farm is on the right track here to find a location of great importance. There it is.
Yeah. Can just go beat Agawan and then grab that heart piece. So, for Amy now heading into this portal, hopefully that means that they're gonna check the vanilla back of Skullwoods. So that would give them their hookshot.
Yep. Or we may see some happy slashes here from Frame. Just overjoyed and ridiculously happy that they have found the hookshot finally. You know, it's so lonely. They've been waiting so long for it. I do have to say, I love the fact that for the dungeon, basically the entrances and exits just for that second part are reversed. They're backwards. It is indeed possible for Canis Mario to be in this Remire in its vanilla dungeon.
Yeah, and Frame is very close to that location right now. So Ack is now starting the climb in Ganon's tower. Normally you would have 7 crystals when you're doing this, but this is not going to be the final destination for Ack. It's still going to need to do a couple of other things before beating Ganon after this.
It'd be kind of funny if Canis and Mario was actually in the GT entrance. So you did have to have all seven. Actually, no, it can't be right because you would need Canis and Mario for that.
Yeah,
I'm a derp.
It happens. It's easy to get lost sometimes.
Yeah.
I've actually seen Ganon's tower be required for an item before, but that was to get a sword.
Right.
The first sword of the sea was actually locked behind Ganon's tower.
Well, that's just mean. First sword.
Happen.
It's just mean game. Why would you do that?
So Frame is now gonna grab their 6th crystal as well from Desert, and then you're just gonna have Meyer left. Also just looking for the Canis Mario right now.
So we're actually seeing Ack have to use some different strats here. Doesn't have the King Samaria, so can't use the cane blocks to get through those rooms quickly. Has to use the, I guess they're backup strats, but alternative strats to get through there.
Yeah, definitely did a good job of it.
Alright, here we go. Gonna start to open up some of these chests. Oh, it's a mirror shield.
Hey! The King of Samaria. So that's a thing.
Indeed it was. Wow.
So progression for the last crystal upstairs in Ganon's tower.
How about that? And that puts Ack in go mode. Oh, he's gonna hover. He's gonna hover the gap. Of course he is. Why not?
Yeah, no need to check that last chest now. And especially not when you have the half magic silver sputter sword.
Getting a double there.
Yeah, and it, with the hookshot, looks like Farimi might be heading over to Ganon's tower now as well. It's gonna be right on Axe heels, but definitely a big advantage to and lead to Actiboker right now. Only needs to finish Meyer and then beat Ganon, while Farimi still needs to do the gauntlet first.
Yes. So basically just a gauntlet behind, so I'm gonna have to get through this as quick as possible, but we'll find the King of Samaria and we'll be in go mode as well shortly thereafter. The Axe gotta go to Lost Woods to get through Misery Mire.
Yeah, the only dungeon that you can go mode happens to be one of the dungeons where you might have to check all of the chests anyways to get that big key.
Yep. Or it could be in the very first one. Could be Swagmire.
Yeah, sometimes it's super fast, sometimes it's just another full clear.
And away we go into Misery Mire, the final dungeon for tonight. So, everybody, you may want to start getting your numbers ready for Ganon's tower. Wait a minute now.
Yeah. Get your numbers in fast for where's the big key in Mire.
Where's the big key? Where's the big key in Mire? We could do that. They're actually playing along. It's not number one. It's not zero tier. It's in here somewhere. See, 3 is the popular choice. I think everyone's on the 3 train.
Yeah,
2.
1 and 2 is just small keys.
Just please remember as a reminder that your guess must be in the form of a whole number. Fractions. The bot does not process fractions.
We'll just round them up and down.
Well, we're about to see. Is almost everybody right? No, the flute.
Oh boy.
Only in the wonderful, fun world of Crossworld Entrance Shuffle will you find a flute in a dungeon that requires a flute.
Yeah, Mitsun Ice Powers.
Here we go. Congratulations, Sindoras. You did guess correctly. Said 4. So, congratulations. You win the prize of not having to play the seed. Well, we are going to get to see... maybe not get to see what's in those last chests. Yeah, it's just a little bit of love.
Yep. Not even enough to get a refill. But I don't think Framey cares too much about that right now, because they're in go mode as well now.
Yes, indeed.
It's a very nice double there from Framey, and then not really getting the triple there, but another double, definitely nice works.
Yeah, I believe both our runners have found Ganon, and if not, Ak would probably know by now where Ganon is, simply by process of elimination. There aren't many places that you can drop down. And for those asking in chat, you do have to kill Ganon with the flags that are set up for this specific race. It is required to get all 7 crystals and kill Aga 2 to defeat Ganon.
Yeah, so now it's off to
Kingstown. Oh wait, no, the escape.
Yeah, back of escape.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ak has had enough with this Lord and Savior Ganon, and is gonna take his place instead.
And actually, we have our first finisher off stream. Heike type has finished with a 157.48. Just narrowly looks like an edge out Ak here. By the way, you cannot with your nose closed. That's correct information there from our Lord and Savior Ganon.
Yeah. Going with the dash strats here. Getting a nice one-on-one cycles for the first 2 phases.
Indeed. On phase 3, I would say I know that fact because after I read that, first time I saw that, I actually tried it and it didn't work. So I was kind of like, oh, no, he's right. Getting lots of warps, unfortunately.
Yeah, at the very least, every runner is going to have the same number of warps.
Correct. Everybody gets the same number of warps, yes.
Yeah, assuming they all get the one-on-one, because it is a little bit dependent on your Ganon fight as well.
Silver is nicely done from Ak, getting all 4 out before the first torch even goes out 1 time.
Yeah, really well played. Everyone get your GGs out for Actiboker, because he's about to finish right now. It's official time of 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 28 seconds, so GGs.
You just wasted 2 hours of your life.
You're not
almost
wrong.
Literally
yeah.
to the second.
The seed knows.
The seed forced that. Yeah, Fryme has not found the silvers. they were in the what would be the hammer peg cave. Which was in Mire, if I remember right.
So we're joined by our first finisher on stream and second overall. GG's Activoker.
GG.
GG, you got a kind of an appropriate Triforce Room message there, huh?
Oh, I didn't even see what it was.
As you said, you just wasted 2 hours of your life, and you're
oh, not even close.
1:59.28.
They're off by like 32 seconds. Come on.
Well, yeah, 31.05, but
fair enough.
give him a little bit of wiggle room. So we were very impressed watching you maneuver around and do some of those hovers there, and try and do the Super Bunny hover as well over the Paradox Cave.
Is that possible? I don't think I've ever tried, and I didn't know.
I think it's possible, but you might have lost the Super Bunny state when you went up the stairs. I'm not totally certain on that.
Well, you would still have it when you fall.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I really have no idea if that works or not. I was thinking I should go look into that later. Yeah, because that was really annoying, because I couldn't get back to where I was. I was like, cool, I can check this, and then I was like, wait, there's no way across this ledge now.
Yeah, we were wondering how you were going to get back across the ledge, and it's like, is he going to hover? And be like, oh, he's trying. Oh, no, it's not working.
Yeah, we speculated that you might lose this.
Oh, that's a good point. Haiku is right.
Yeah, I was going to say, the following zone, yeah. It was interesting to watch and speculate about it, at least. So how are you feeling after that seed, man? I mean, Death Mountain was like, called it Challenge Mountain tonight because it had all the dungeons on it.
Yeah, I guess I had 3 on it. You only needed to do 1 of them though, or 2 of them.
Yeah.
It was never mind.
Yeah.
I guess Dark Death Mountain had 1 too. So.
Yeah, we had. I think we had 4.
It's like Eastern Thieves, Ice Palace, and the back of Desert. Yeah.
Yes. And technically, actually, is that where I'm trying to remember where Laser Bridge was? Is that up there too, or?
I think Laser Bridge was at the Flute 5 spot.
Yeah, Flute 5 in the Light World.
Gotcha.
What tripped up for aim? Was it the hammer?
He actually got the hammer before you, but
okay.
I think it was the hook
more
shot.
The hook shot.
Oh, yeah. That's right. The hook shot was terrible.
Yeah.
I got them back to back. I remember because they were both in the same area for me. But yeah, the fire rod was really gross, and then that also was really gross to lock the hook shot. That's right.
Yeah, Framey got the hammer before the fire rod, so.
Yep.
Right.
The Candace Samaria being up at the top of Gauntlet as well was kind of like one of those things. You're like, oh, why? Why, Seed? Why would you do this to me as a runner? But I mean, for you, it was probably like, oh, cool. I'm already on my way up here.
I don't know. I wish you would have like maybe swapped Mire and Turtle Rock between crystals and pendants, and I could have been done a lot faster.
Indeed.
What was I gonna say? Oh, the flute in Mire was in maybe the greatest spot ever because
yeah.
I was going into Swamp Palace, and the only reason that stopped me from doing that was because I didn't have the flute, and I had found out that everything over there was locked by the flute with the Spectacle Rock bomb jump, because I got you to the Mire area, but there was no other way, so...
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not doing this till I find the flute. Even if it's in, you know, the top of GT, like, so be it, you know, but I'm not touching this till I get the flute.
And turns out it was a Mire, and you didn't even really need it.
Yeah.
Primate's actually just finished up as well with a 204.49. Finishing 3rd place, so get those GGs in chat. Primate's just wasted 2 hours plus an additional 4 minutes and 49 seconds of their life. But I assume they don't mind the fact that came in 3rd in this run.
No, this was the rubber match between me and him. This was the decider of the best of 3 series, with me and him being featured on an entrance stream.
Yeah, very nicely done. And by the way, Chex Human has just finished up as well with a 205.39 for 4th place.
It was a fun seed overall. The Moon Pearl, I think, kind of hurt a lot because it was very free, and I did a lot of stuff without it.
Yeah, you both went around in the dark hole quite a lot before getting to that Moon Pearl.
Yeah.
I think the mirror might have actually put both of you a little bit further away from it because you could combine so much of the dark checks and the light world checks at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of those situations where if you have you get an item and it's like, oh, this is a great utility item, but it kind of leads you away from where you need to go next.
I don't know. It made it fun. I don't know. That's part of the joy of it. I'm playing with an MSU pack too, and my bunny track is just so jamming. Like, I don't even mind, man. I can just sit there and listen to that music all day. So.
Then you missed the cool normal bunny music, right?
Yeah, I mean they're both good, but I don't know. This MSU pack is really jamming. It's brought new life into the game. It seems kind of weird that I play Zelda just to listen to whatever music it plays, but I really like it. They've really done a lot of good work on them.
And looks like we have Rami in chat as well, so GG's for Rami. Everyone's get your GG's in.
Indeed. So, how are you feeling tonight, Framey? How you feeling after that run? For those who don't know, Framey doesn't have a mic, I think. Or
he's got a mic. She's just shy.
Yeah. Thought he would have her GT. So, anything in that run that you kind of thought would be a little bit trolly, or that you thought was a little bit trolly, perhaps? Maybe something like the hook shot as well, like the hook shot placement being where it was.
I don't know if it was necessarily the hook shot being as bad as it was. If it was the fire rod being as awful as it was. I think
yeah,
both
was those fire sources. Yeah, being up on Death Mountain there.
Yeah, if you had the mitts, I guess you could have gotten it, but I didn't have the hammer, and I did Skullwoods without the Moon Pearl, which meant... oh man, I could have had the hammer so early, now that I think about it. I would have just death warped in that other entrance, grabbed the big key. Oh man, that would have been so much better. I don't know why I wanted to skip that one. Yeah, that's really unfortunate now that I think about it. That sucked, because I was in Skullwoods really early without the Moon Pearl, and then I just did the front side and I didn't do the back one for the big key.
Was the big key not in the back of Skullwoods?
It was in, I did the first drop down, which got you, and I got one item out of it, and I just freaking jet, because I had one item and one small key, so I figured, I got my small key, if I run into Skullwoods, I'll be able to complete it if I find a fire source along the way. And then I can just play the rest of them by ear, but yeah, that would have been really nice, because then I probably would have skipped the back of Skullwoods forever and never found the hook shot and not cared. Could have done the Ice Palace on your first go through. Yeah, that would have been really nice.
And it's one of those things, especially with the Crossworld entrances being all mixed up. It's really dependent upon what you find and where that leads to, and that kind of changes your thought process on okay, where you can go and where you can't go, what's easy to route in, because your routing changes since you have to pass through a bunch of different entrances to get to places.
Yeah, it's kind of a slog to, check all your connectors, but sometimes it's nice to know. Sometimes you might just find them ahead of time. I mean, you had Super Bunny, the lockout portion of Super Bunny Cave on the island, which I'd found before I realized that if I would have just went up one more, it was free. But I wanted to do Zora, and then I found that, and I'm like, well, crap, I don't know which one to do now, because they're both kind of dead-end entrances. Spiral Cave, can do that to you. The routing gets really weird, and you just kind of have to hedge your bets that whichever rabbit hole you fall down is the right one.
Yeah, it's always the risk of checking an exit and not having a guaranteed way to get back again.
But yes, indeed. So for those of you wondering, who finished first place, since Ack was second and Prime was third, Hikey Type finished with a 157.48, just ahead of Ack. So it was really great. Part of me wishes that we could have had you and Prime and Hikey Type and Chex on here and just had the four of you go at it. But at the same time, it's like figuring out everything just with the two of you is just like, oh, that's enough. I can't imagine having four people on here. It'd be complete chaos. We'd be looking all over the place and trying to figure out what's going on.
Well, that's good, because it kind of gives you the same perspective that we have.
Absolutely, it's absolutely not an easy thing to learn to do, and you guys made it, even with small hiccups here and there, you guys made it look really, really good.
It's really fun mode. I think more people should hop into it. We got the other tournament coming up. Inverted is going to be one of the modes that are featured. Man, if you wanted some pre-practice for Inverted without actually playing Inverted, Entrance is probably one of the better ideals for that, just because it kind of puts you in those quirky little situations where you don't have your typical item loadouts to do specific dungeons that would always be very probable, if not forced, in regular standard and open. So just kind of makes you a little bit more of a, I guess, versatile and able to make decisions on the fly. It supports that. Play more Entrance. That's all I'm saying.
There you go. Actabacher says play Entrance. It's good for you.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It is at the very least fun to watch, and I don't know if we have any other questions really at this point. I think we've kind of touched on most of them. Unless, Walter, unless you've got any questions you wanted to ask real quick.
I think we're going over most of them. The one thing I was most interested in was the Swamp Palace, but we kind of got that answered already.
Oh, why I didn't go in?
Yeah, because you were definitely...
yeah, it was flute locked.
You're not happy about finding it, yeah.
And there was no flute, so...
Yeah.
That would have been really sad for me. Because that would have cost me probably 3 places to have done that, and I would have been like, well, it was kind of hopeful of me of doing that anyways. And I still needed to find GT anyways, and I knew that, I mean, well, for the most part, I knew it probably had to exist, and even if it didn't, like, I'd find the flute, and then go back in the swamp, get your cane, and then at that point, GT would have to be vanilla.
Yeah.
Right.
But, man, as always, guys, I appreciate the restream and the commentary options. Who was tracking today?
Actually, we can just really say, let's bring that up one more time in chat.
I'm not in. What's the name?
Well, in Twitch chat, I was saying, just gonna say, tracking tonight. Sindoris was doing a wonderful tracking job for us.
Yo, Sindoris, thank you very much. You're the heart of the restreams. The trackers need more love. You guys do all the hard work, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, especially with this kind of seed, where you never know what you're gonna expect to find. So you kind of have to be on your toes at all times, and it's not easy to track. I've done it before, and especially with something like this, where it's kind of all over the place. You just got to be really good at keeping track of everything. And thank you so much, Sindoris, for doing all the tracking work tonight. And of course, Walther, thank you very much for co-commentating with me as always.
Yeah, thank you, Neon Tiger as well, and to both our runners.
Indeed, big GGs, and make sure to follow Ack and Farime. They do lots of awesome Link to the Past randomizer and other stuff too. Let's not pigeonhole them here, but they're both great runners, and they're both worth the follow if you just want to watch some really good rando runs. Just watch some really good speed runs. Excellent people to follow. So with that, I think we've got everything's kind of wrapping up tonight, except for if you need to have some more crazy randomizer in your life. Super Metroid and Link to the Past randomizer is going on right now on Speed Gaming 4. I believe it's still going on. Probably still is going on, depending on who's running it. But with that, I'm going to say, as always, thank you for watching Link to the Past randomizer tonight. Good luck, good night, good luck, good RNG. Remember, someone out there loves you, and we love you too. Take care of yourselves, everybody, and we'll see you back here next time. Bye-bye.